Hey guys, we're here to give you some exciting news about the John Maxwell Live2Lead Conference. And with me today, I have John Edgell from the Ministry of Tourism, of Industry and Commerce, the Director of Business. And together, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and Lead to Influence, we are bringing Live2Lead to Guyana. And some of you who may not know what is Live2Lead, Live2Lead is a leadership conference that is designed by the John Maxwell team, and it's broadcasted in Atlanta every year. Coaches around the world have the opportunity actually to bring this to their countries, and we are bringing it with the license from John Maxwell to bring it to Guyana, and in 3 places we are going to be bringing it to. And on October 29th at the Convention Center, we're going to be there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's going to be a blast of a day. I know John is going to tell us a little bit about what he is expecting from this event, and a little bit also what you can get from attending an event like this. But before, let me also say that we're going to have this event in Linden on November 12th and in Berbice on November 26th. So we are catering, to bring more of these leadership content to help our people. And what you're going to get, the whole idea of the conference is for you to get more a different leadership perspective. You're going to get different takeaways. You're going to get actionable items that you can go back and put in place in your organization, in your life, especially, that where the transformation will take place. But before I tell you about the speakers that are lined up for this year, John, what would you like to add?
Well, good day, Shanti, and thank you for having me. I share your enthusiasm and excitement in us executing this particular project. The ministry is very happy to come on board and to share this platform of bringing the Live2Lead conference to Guyana. We're more so pleased that we're able to do so not just in Central Georgetown at the Artichon Conference Center, but also in Region 10 in Linden, and as well as in Berbice in Region 6. And we'll announce those venues at a later time. But we're very pleased that we're able to do this on a large scale basis and be able to capture audiences from across Guyana, a wide cross-section of Guyana. I really believe that this conference is going to be very beneficial for several reasons. One, the name alone is captivating. John Maxwell, it's a name that everybody probably in this country knows already. And he's a very recognized thought leader, especially in the field of leadership. Our ministry is aligned very particularly well with this conference because we work directly a lot with the private sector. We work a lot with businesses, SMEs, and we try to promote them and help them to be able to grow. And I see that alignment very carefully in terms of leadership, because leadership is what can really make or break any kind of operation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business, but a leader must possess that vision. It must possess the drive, and leadership skills can definitely be taught. There's a question that has been debated for several years, whether a leader is born or a leader is created. And I think we've answered that question already, that leaders can be indeed created, and leadership skills can be transferred. So let me put this on. I'm having some terrible disruptions.
That's okay. So guys, as you heard, this is going to be an exciting and an awesome time for you to come and network with others too. That's a benefit that you'll definitely get from being there, learning from other organization leaders like yourself and how they're impacting their organizations. So the networking part of it is one aspect, the energy part of it that you're going to get, and the inspiration and motivation in attending, it's also going to be something that you'll be blown away by. Yes, John. Please continue.
I must register my apologies. Again, the ministry is very busy and we're trying to support many persons. And that phone call was actually I was trying to support some of those operations, coincidentally enough.
And
So
I do
I am
appreciate you taking your busy time for us to do this here and, let people know of this event here. So I do understand that your phone is going to be ringing sometimes.
yeah, yes. But yes, we're very pleased, and Don Maxwell is a very known name, and we know that these leadership skills can be harnessed, and we are very much aware that the John Maxwell team, when they come here and they do these trainings, we will see that those skills being transferred and harnessed even in our businesses and regular organizations, and we also want to be able to target young people. I'm a young man and I have a very particular interest in seeing the next generation of young leaders growing, and we can't grow without leadership skills. I know a lot of us have lofty ideas, but when we go and we listen to the perspectives of persons who have walked the roads that we want to walk, and I think that's probably the most interesting thing that we can take away from this particular conference is that we will hear from industry leaders. We will hear from a lot of persons with a magnitude of experience, and they have done things that we want to do. So instead of us trying to recreate the wheel and for us to try to have lessons learned from failure, we can fast track those failures and move past those failures, but by simply listening and attending this conference. So it's going to be very beneficial for any person who wants to become a leader. You want to harness, you're in a leadership position already, and you want to be able to harness those skills. You want to be able to grow. You don't, of course, we don't want to stay stagnant. You might be a business leader in your operation. You might be an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur where you're required to come up with new creations within your own operations, right? So there are a wide cross section of persons who this leadership conference can benefit. Our indigenous leaders are invited. Our women leaders are invited. We're not discriminating against any particular group. We want the participation to come as widely as possible.
Definitely. John, well said. And indeed, that's what we're looking for. We're looking to add value to every individual. And John Maxwell says leadership is influence. And I do believe each one of us, it's not about title or where you're at to, but you are influencing people. And this conference here is going to give you a whole new perspective on your leadership skills and how you can improve it too. And just to give you a few, who are the speakers lined up for this year here, and I can share this with you here. We have obviously John Maxwell, #1 leadership expert in the world. If you don't know John Maxwell, please go Google him. We have so many books out there on leadership. You have Patrick Lencioni, and maybe some of you know Patrick, famous book of the 5 dysfunction of teams, and there's so many books, and I know he's going to talk about one in this conference here that is really also impactful. We had a training on it, and he's going to delve more into that book there about your genius, the 6 geniuses and the working genius, as a matter of fact. And then you have Eric Thomas, author, speaker, consultant, pastor, and he also very vibrant speaker. I'm just so excited to hear what these speakers going to bring to us this year, and things that you could take back and go and start applying in your life. That is the beauty of this year. And Dr. Tim Elmore, also author, and I had the privilege actually to introduce Dr. Elmore in our Orlando, the John Maxwell Leadership Conference in Orlando in August gone. So he's also awesome. He's talking about diversity and what's happening now in the workplace, and how the generation gaps and all the different generation that end up in this workforce now, and how do we can contact and actually be able to interact and communicate better. And then you have Doris Goodwin, presidential historian. She also for us, I've been through many of these conferences, and each one of the speaker, I could go back to my notes and all the things that they would have shared, different things, little things that I would have take from all of them and start building my leadership skills too. So we do look forward that you can come, and these are just few of our present partners that came on board to help value, add value to our community and to help bring this, even at the price that we are charging to enter this event. The investment that you're making is also part of the help from, obviously, from the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, and all the sponsors that are on the screen here that has helped to bring this event even closer to us here. And I usually tell many people that sometimes we think it's so, $15,000 to invest in you for a day. What you're gonna get out from this day here is gonna be life-changing, that you can't even put a price to that. But to invest $15,000 to develop you, and that impact that you're gonna change for you, how it's gonna impact your families, how it's gonna impact your organizations, how it's gonna impact our community, because you're the one who is transforming. And so I want to encourage you to do come on board. I'm gonna share the registration link in our comment section here, and you also free to ask any questions. We are just so, I would say, honored to have you join us and learn with us as John and myself also build on our leadership skills and grow in our leadership. So John, is there anything else you would like to share?
Well, in closing, I want to echo what you've said. That investment in yourself is an investment worthwhile. We have Cricket Carnival coming up, and it's good that we enjoy our social events. But after the social events are past as well, we need to be able to have investments that we can fall back on. So just as we enjoy the festivities, let us set aside those finances to also invest in ourselves. So they can't be one without the other. Let us enjoy both. And in closing, I want to leave with one of my favorite John Maxwell quotes and one of my favorite books that he has written, Failing Forward. And that's a book that has helped me with learning how to fail and learning how to change your perspective in the face of failure. And he says that the more you do, the more you fail. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better that you get. And that's something that has stuck with me quite well. And I think that's a perspective worth carrying on throughout my life. And that is something that has changed how I've even looked at every challenge in life and every activity and every task that I've been asked to do. So that's how I will leave this particular.
Thank you, John. Wonderful. And indeed, this event here is going to help you with that and how to build our self-esteem and your confidence into some of the things you might be embarking on. So we do look forward to seeing you and sharing this time with you, meeting you and greeting and adding value to you. The day is going to spend with the first half day in the conference, and the other half day you're going to also be engaged in some activities, and also you're going to have exposure to a short training on communication. So there's a lot of value that you're going to get in that day, and also it's a fun day too, that you're going to be learning and having fun. Look forward to seeing you all there, and I'm going to leave you with this video here and John Maxwell and the event itself.
You see, the only thing you got to worry about tomorrow is making sure that you make today count. This is your day to learn how to change your world.
I need you to focus on why you were born.
Let's not lose what made us, but let's grip the future and let's become the best version for next year.
Most success is when a person develops ordinary qualities to an extraordinary degree through the application of hard, sustained work.
Now, for some people, this is not easy, but there is no good reason for not doing it.
You and I were created created to make a difference.